Top of the morning, top of the morning. Welcome to the Ray and Everything show. We talk about Ray and we talk about everything. I'm going to talk about different subjects today. At least I think I am. I'm going to start off with boxing because I like to start off light. I don't like to delve too far into all these different other subjects. I'll probably be doing a podcast this year, and when I do this podcast, I'll delve a little further into all the other subjects, and you guys will get a chance to see how I think about other things, about other topics other than boxing. Today, I want to talk about Jaron Boots Ennis and the so-called, him being so-called exposed. I'm just going to say this. Jaron Boots Ennis was not exposed. I don't know what people think exposed is, but that wasn't exposed. What that was him fighting an elusive fighter who did real study on him, knew some of his tendencies, and knew it would be a tough fight, and did what he was supposed to do. He moved. He didn't stand in front of Boots. He didn't let Boots. He wasn't standing in front of Boots so Boots can get off and look like a star. He wasn't just trying to go in there and play, oh, I'm a knock this guy out. I don't care who this guy is. No, he knew who the guy was. He knew who Boots was, and he knew what he needed to do, and he did that. And now, of course, he wasn't successful because Boots is a really good fighter in regards to defense. I mean, his defense is really good. I'm not gonna say impeccable, but it's really good because he doesn't take flush punches. You're not gonna hit Boots with a flush punch. You're not. So, with that being said, all these guys are talking about he was exposed. That's nonsense. That's when you don't know boxing. You don't know boxing, or you guys are talking about boxing gossip and not actual boxing. Boots, in my opinion, has maybe the second or third best jabs in the game. Like, there's a couple fighters that have really good jabs. Errol Spence is one of them. I think Errol Spence is number one in regards to the jab. I like to say David Benavidez is really good with the jab. Virgil Ortiz is really good with his jab too. Caleb Plant throws the jab really well too. People sleep on the jab. That punch, the jab is, in my opinion, the most important punch. It can stop a fighter from doing whatever they want to do. It really could, especially if you're good at it, you're good with it, and you're confident in it, and you keep it in his face. I think what happens is a lot of fighters get bored with the jab because they don't want to be technical. They want to be flashy, so they want to hit you with a hook because that seems like it's going to knock you out. But anybody who knows anything about physics, a straight line is the fastest way to get to somewhere, and that jab is the easiest way to touch someone. A lot of people like to get flashy with counters and flashy with hooks over the jab and things of that nature. A good fighter knows to jab, or double up the jab or triple up the jab when they need to, and it starts with the stick. Starts with it. And when I say stick, I mean jab. So Boots didn't do enough jabbing. He didn't do enough jabbing to get the guy into a corner and pocket him. He just didn't do that. He tried to walk him down with his hands up. And of course, he has that tool in his fight game. But I think he should have used more jabs. I think if he would have used more jabs, the fight would have been better. He would have pushed him back, and then he would have been able to get off set up all the other shots. You know, you got to set these shots up. And I'm sorry, Devin Haney. Devin Haney, in my opinion, has one of the best jabs in the game. I'm sorry, I took him out of the. That was foolish of me. Devin Haney's jab is serious. Excuse me, pardon me. If Devin Haney, you hear this, man, I'm sorry. I should have put you in definitely the top of the list. I'm saying your jab is 1A, 1B to Errol Spence's jab. I've seen you use that jab very well. It's very effective. You know, and once again, you're not running around looking for these. You're not looking for these knockouts. You're boxing. You're actually boxing. You know, sometimes it doesn't. You're not gonna knock every man out. It's just not. So, saying he's exposed, that was foolish. The other thing I want to say about it, Boots got himself caught up by saying, I'm thinking Mike Tyson. Boots, you're not. Mike Tyson fought that way because he was short and he had to be elusive, but it wasted a lot of energy. Mike Tyson would waste a ton of energy fighting that way. Excuse me. Boots, you preserve energy. You know, I think, you know, you have a way longer reach, longer extension. You got to use that to your advantage, like, all the time. You know, of course, you come from a great pedigree, so he comes from a great pedigree, so he knows that he's gonna watch tape and realize that he should have used the jab more. And nothing about him says Mike Tyson. You know, you knock these guys out because you set up shots and you plant traps. You know, and you catch them with shots that they don't see. It's not particularly the power that you're using just straight off the rip. It's just not. You're just not that close to the ground to be doing it. Now, you're trying to battle with Tank for Fight of the Night. It's going to be tough for you to battle with a really short guy who throws hard punches, who has a knockout ratio as high as his, to be battling him with knockout of the night. That, you know, but that was his statements that got him into that trouble. That had him. I don't think it had him thinking knockout, but he had him thinking like, I'm a better fighter, so you was willing your way. And sometimes in a street fight, it'll be a guy that you can beat, that you know you can beat, but you're not following the fundamentals, so you get hit with a punch, and everybody's like, ooh, and now you're frustrated on your way to losing that fight. And I think that's what happened to Boots. You know, it just was a mental thing. You know, it's not that he's not ready for the champs. He's definitely ready for the champs. He's definitely ready to be the champ and defend that championship for years to come, up and down weight classes if he wants to. But it just was a mental thing. He just mentally, you know, that's one of those things. It's one of them things like when a guy, you know, a smaller guy or a guy you know you can beat sucker punches you, and you never get to get that in particular punch back. And so you're frustrated and you're trying to fight him, and he's elusive after you done sucker punch, or everybody's grabbing you after you done got sucker punched.